This is a message to the president and vice president, the sergeant at arms, and all the Hells Angels of the Sudbury, Ontario Hells Angels Clubhouse. And the new national president of the Canadian Hells Angels that took over for Brother Steve. Your family member, Robert Lloyd, aka Bobby Lloyd, put in 35 years for the Hells Angels and unalived 162 chomos, keeping children safe from chomos in almost every city in Canada. Even Bobby Lloyd, Robert Lloyd, when I was 16 years old in Vancouver and I was a runaway from my foster home, Roy Henderson, because I was being physically and SA'd at his foster home. At 16 years old, when I ran away downtown Vancouver, I met Hell's Angel Robert Lloyd. He asked me if I was a runaway, and I said yes. He asked me if I was hungry. I said yes. He bought me a pizza and a pop. Every chomo that picked me up when I was 16 years old in Vancouver, he unalived. Bobby, Robert Lloyd, was a hero to me and all the Hells Angels in Canada, and all the children and families across Canada, that he kept the children safe from chomos by unaliving 162 chomos. He passed away in 2022. He deserves the love and respect because he earned it. The Toronto Hells Angels refused to give Bobby Robert Lloyd a mandatory Hells Angel funeral ride with at least 500,000 Harley Davidson, with every Hells Angel in Canada a funeral going from Toronto to the Meadowvale Cemetery in Brampton, and refused to pay for his funeral and tombstone. I have been out to Meadowvale Cemetery twice and seen that your family member, Robert Lloyd, doesn't have a tombstone. I'm calling on the Sudbury Hells Angels to tell the national president and all the Hells Angels east and west that you will contact Richard Furbank, through TikTok at Sweet Stuff, and send me a message and a phone number and a WhatsApp number, and that they will pay for his tombstone. And this spring, April 22nd, 500,000 Harley Davidsons with me show up at Meadowvale Cemetery in Brampton and have a proper Hells Angel funeral for Bobby, and at least 2 Harley Davidson over his graveside, just roaring those engines right up, man. You could hear it for like a mile away. He deserves that love and respect. So, I'm sitting out in 2017 in front of a community center, and I knew that Bobby was doing hard drugs and drinking 60 ounces of hard alcohol. And he had seizures, had to go to the hospital. The doctor told him if he didn't stop, he'd pass away. And that's when I started crying in front of the Queen Community Center in Toronto. And a guy named Al asked me, "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" And I told him the same story I'm telling everyone right now. And he said, he showed me a picture of the national president, Papa Smurf, and he said that he would have the Sudbury Hells Angels have a church meeting. And they did with the Toronto Hells Angels, and they told the national president of the Hells Angels, Papa Smurf, that you will tell Robert Lloyd, your family member, to turn himself into the Toronto Police for the outstanding warrants for breach of probation and just stole the beer out of the LCBO, and he did. Papa Smurf didn't like being told what to do, especially from some bisexual guy that is only being an associate for, 30 years, or now 35 years, and he then took out a contract on my life, and I'm sitting on Church and Queen in Toronto, and 2017, somebody runs up to me, gives me the heads up. At that point, Robert Lloyd already out of jail, and he had been in the Wood Green Pharmacy. I told him that. He called up Papa Smurf, told him to take that contract off my life, or you're going on a camping and fishing trip. And Papa Smurf did. Then Papa Smurf sent 2 Hells Angel enforcers to the Wood Green Pharmacy where I was with Robert Lloyd. I'm out front there having a cigarette. And these 2 big fucking Hells Angel enforcers that are probably first or second or third degree black belt start approaching me. That's when Robert Lloyd walks out of the Wood Green Pharmacy, sees what's going on, gives them a real dirty look, and they walk away. And then he calls up Papa Smurf and tells him, if you don't take off that contract to break my arms and legs, you're going on a camping and fishing trip, Papa Smurf. And he canceled it. Turns out when I was in Maplehurst in 2019, the Rizzutos sent somebody into my prison cell and told me that the national president of the Hells Angels, Papa Smurf, is cooperating with law enforcement and writing several police statements against my Hells Angel family members. And hey, Papa Smurf, if you're watching this, buddy, you need to move to China because people are looking for you. They're having a really hard time finding you. But Papa Smurf, you're the biggest snitch I've ever even heard of in the history of the Hells Angels. You are a freaking lowlife, a scumbag, and I hope that you just disappear somewhere because I don't like you. You're a dirtbag. So I shout out to all the Hells Angels in Sudbury. Thank you for saving my very best friend of 35 years and partner 21 his life in 2017 from drinking himself to death on alcohol and hard drugs. You're all heroes. Robert Lloyd was a hero. He was my best friend, and I miss him. I'm all alone now, and this really sucks. Also, I would like to say that I want to thank the president and vice president for holding a meeting with a church meeting in Sudbury and with the Toronto Hells Angels, and make sure that Robert Lloyd gets the mandatory funeral ride with 500,000 Harley Davidsons with me to the Meadowvale Cemetery in Brampton, April 22nd, my birthday, and pay for a huge tombstone on his gravesite. Much love and respect